Qualifier number 5, Grand Final. Our best of 5 series starts, and it is the Bratwurst boys against Team Ash, who made it all the way into the Grand Final with a pretty spectacular loser bracket run. So nicely done. Blackheart's Bay is our opening map, and in case that surprises you, we predetermine the first map for the Grand Final. Makes things a little bit easier, makes things, well, easier for the viewers, makes it a little bit more fun, you know. So entertaining first map. Some of the games that we haven't really seen in a while. We had Haunted Mines, we had Braxis, Forehead Junction, Blackheart. So that's quite a couple of games and maps in the pool that you don't see all that often, and every now and then we throw one of them in as well for the qualifiers in particular. But with that now, we get Sylvanas, Band, and also Blaze. Now, again, quick reminder, the way that this is actually working out is that if you, as you are taking positions in the qualifiers, you gather points. So these two teams are already getting a lot of points for making it into the Grand Final. They will take first and second place. At the end of the 6 qualifiers, those points will be added up, and the teams at the top make it into the playoffs. Now, it's also kind of important that you actually position yourself well in the playoffs, so just qualifying for them normally not really enough, because you are in a much better position if you are higher up in the standings, since we are using a stepladder system for the next phase of the tournament. And in the playoffs, you then play for the prize money, so $2,500 are on the line as the two teams are battling it out for victory. All provided by Psychiv, aka Kevin, who's been the Heroes of the Storm sugar daddy for a long time right now. Huge esports and Heroes of the Storm fan, and he's been helping a lot to keep the Heroes of the Sports scene alive here. So yeah, big shout out to him. And now let's see what we're going to get as our first pick. Well, we're starting Blackheart's Bay with Abathur. Alright. Okay. Abathur as the first pick. Definitely starting the first draft off with a bit of a bang. I expect that he would go into some global plays with Falstad, for example, especially after the Haka got banned, but yeah, not so much. So we get the Slug, and how will Team Ash react? They had a pretty long run. They had a very long day. They played from the first match onwards. So this is, I believe, the 4th series in a row now that they are playing. Should be a pretty cool one. Means that they're definitely warmed up. Might also mean that they're a little bit tired. But again, that's the problem when you drop down into the lower bracket and you go for a full lower bracket run. The interesting part is actually that, if memory serves me right, then they played against the Bratwurst boys in the first round in the winner bracket and got defeated. So they have a rematch now going on for themselves. And boy, Ultralisk immediately with Samuro. So Abathur, Samuro to kick things off. The cancer comp right there. We already had it before, but yeah, this is gotta be rough. Samuro Abathur, once that you're in the mid, and particularly once that you're in the late game, it is just so annoying to deal with that. It's quite something. And they played this before, with huge success too. On Towers of Doom, if I remember correctly. Genji gets banned here. You don't want to go up against Genji with Abathur. It's already annoying enough having Samuro with a symbiote, but then Genji is coming in too. Like, yeah, no thank you. No thanks. So, with Hoga and Brightwing starting for Team Ash, we're gonna get the final ban. Interesting, by the way, is also the pick on Rhaegar, because since every hero can only be played once within the best of 5 series here, it means that Renella cannot get Rhaegar anymore. So it's kind of his go-to. So not only do they pick a really good draft for themselves, but in addition to that, we have now some heroes taken away from the red team that they normally like to go to as preference picks. Team Ash with their double pick here. And let's see what Bishops is playing now. Do they use something specifically against Abathur? Doesn't seem like it. We have Cassia, we have Joanna. So an all-in-all nice move in the rotation. Hogger, Jojo, Cassia, all stable. But I like the shenanigans that we're seeing from the blue team. They are, of course, the favorites. They're currently number 1 in the leaderboard. Team Ash, I don't know where exactly they are standing, but they're pretty much at the bottom of the teams that are currently qualifying for the playoffs, mainly because they only started to participate in the qualifiers for the Banshee Cup in qualifier number 4. So the one before the one that we currently have in front of us. So they really need these points. They really need to get them. Jaina and Muradin get quickly locked in as well. that leaves us with a couple of really good targets for an Abathur Symbiote, and of course also a nice copy target with Jaina specifically. Can rotate throughout the entire ability cycles and cooldowns. And our final pick for Morenas as we're heading into game number 1 of the best of 5 series for Team Ash here on Blackheart's Bay is Sergeant Hammer. Hammer time, baby! We get the Sergeant, we get the tank, and it's time to shine. First map of the Grand Final Series. Let's go. Game number 1. The Bratwurst boys in blue with Hazorbs on Abathur. Ultralisk playing Samuro in the first game of the best of 5 series with Way of Illusion as his number 1 talent. We have Death Knight on Rhaegar, Masquerade playing Muradin, and Dainu on Jaina. On the right side of the map, Team Ash with Renella on Brightwing. Bishops going for stacks again with Cassia. We have Lopaka on Hogga, Maitri on Jojo. And last but not least, Morenas playing Sergeant Hammer in the first game of the series. The entire team already moving down towards the bottom of the map, trying to go for a bit of a surprise here and take a tower down or two. So, not too bad. But again, mid-game and late-game with Samuro Abathur are always a massive pain in the butt, simply because they can take structures down so easily. And obviously, when we're talking about Blackheart's Bay, outside of you trying to turn in the balloons and then making a move with a ghost ship, it's all about taking structures down quickly and early, and that's what they're trying here. And so far, there is no rotation. Are they just trying to get damage done themselves? I mean, I like the attempt to go for Lopaka here and get a kill, and they're most likely going to get it. Yep, they have it. But can they outpace them by pushing top? They might be able to, but this is an entire wall already gone, and now the fort is getting attacked. So, color me intrigued. I think they moved back a bit too late towards the bottom. Now, Samuro is already doing some work here and has done some damage, but still, it's nowhere near what we've seen the red team do down here. So, Death Knight is already moving in. First blood, obviously, with Hogga dying, went to the Bratwurst boys. No stacks really for Cassia, because there was no chance for her to get any stacks, and now she might actually die, and she does die. So she goes down. Abathur not respecting the 1v1 fight. Death Knight also a bit low, needs that symbiote again, and they get 2 kills down here, which is kind of insane. Brightwing is gone, and so is Cassie, and again, this is all happening with now Rhaegar getting the entire chest thanks to the lightning shield, 5 doubloons that they can start to turn in, and they are looking great. The team is, of course, for a reason, the favorite in this qualifier, and maybe even for the entire tournament. Cassia only getting 3 stacks so far is also a bit bad. At least Jojo was able to pick up 4 of the doubloons at the top chest. That's something. That's the early level 4. Hogga is ponging around at the bottom camp, and we're even getting Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer for Masquerade. What I'm a little bit more worried about, though, is all of that pressure that can come from Samuro as we're entering mid and late game. That's something that with Abathur is just insane. Not only do you have the symbiote, you can go for the copy, spawn your own mirror images, and then just whack away at the structure. And it's so easy for you to pull it off, especially when you rotate towards the lane. There's no defender right now. So on a macro level, you have just options. This is a pretty cool move at the bottom of the map, though, because they're pushing in with not only a cam, but also Sergeant Hammer and a very strong lineup. Masquerade has to get out of here and is a bit low and dies. Masquerade is gone. Doubloons taken away too. And at the top, Samuro is trying to do the same thing here. Maitri is still with his doubloons. Nobody has turned anything in yet. We have 5 doubloons on the blue team side. And actually, I'm lying. The blue team turned in 9 doubloons. So they're 1 short for getting a full turn. I wanted to say nobody has gotten an objective yet. But the first fort is destroyed. Yeah, that's about as good as it gets. Take the first fort out. Don't even need Blackhearts to use his ghost ship for it. And they're working on the remaining camps here, not only the small pirate camp, but also the siege giants. And can now start with their own turn-in. That leaves Samuro all the way up alone at the top side. Masquerade gets attacked. The big difference to Blackheart's Bay in the past is, as I explained in previous matches, that now any kind of rotation on the ghost ship destroys a fort completely, no matter if you've done damage to the wall or not. Simply because the hit points of the fountain are now tied to the fort itself. As you can obviously see here, previously that fountain would soak up one cannonball shot, and that resulted then in the fort not getting destroyed 100%. Talking about destroying forts 100%, since they are trying to turn in, Samuro is now getting the fort at the top. So each team has taken a fort down simply by attacking it, not relying on the objective in any way, shape or form. There's a lot more doubloons in the hand of the Bratwurst boys, but one of the cool things about Blackheart's Bay is that if you are taking heroes down on the other side that hold doubloons, you're actually stealing them away. You're not just simply removing them from them, you're getting them for yourself, so you can claim them. That's the big difference to maps like Tomb of the Spider Queen. Shots are being fired, and since they get the objective, the cannonballs are going to destroy the entire mid lane, so this is going to fall. But down at the bottom of the map, the fight continues, and Sergeant Hammer is down. So is Rhaegar, very likely. Loses the 2 doubloons that he's been holding, and there's just way too many heroes. They're playing a 3 versus 4 down here. So some of the doubloons are now taken. Samuro slowly starting to move in, but he might be a bit too late to the party. And as usual, with Abathar not holding level 10 yet, he doesn't have the copy. There is no additional hit point pool that they have, but they get the kill on Hogger regardless. Nice. Hogger is down, 7 doubloons in their hands, and the turning is happening as Ultralisk is delivering. So this will remove the mid lane fort from the red team's side. So yeah, this one is not going to get destroyed. Blackheart's got his booty and is willing to chip in with the Ghost Ship Barrage. And more doubloons are being picked up by the Bratwurst boys over on the left side. So yeah, Masquerade checks all of this out. It's going to be fine here. Level 10 abilities are of course going to drop in just a moment, specifically for the blue team, and that's where things become interesting. Not only because we're getting Illusion Master, but also the Ultimate Evolution for Abathar is a huge game changer on that account. So, yep. Fort is gone. No big surprises when it comes to rogue abilities. We got everything locked in. The one choice that has not been... Ah, there it is. Water Elemental. Yeah. Jaina a little bit late to that, but there's the next turn in. So this one is going to remove the bot lane. Actually, they're not quite done. Oh, no, they have exactly 12. So they get the full turn in. That means that the bot lane fort is going to be destroyed. So the entire outer ring of defense is therefore gone on the side of Team Ashe. Whereas the Bratwurst boys still hold on to that top fort. The question is for how long, because Sergeant Hammer is again aggressively pushing into it and trying to make a move here. They are diving onto that very quickly. And nice. Masquerade has to pop Avatar. Was really in trouble here for a moment. Got stunned out by Blessed Shield, and they were hoping to get the kill. But now Maitri eats the Stormbolt. They're still fighting this out. The copy is also done, and Abathar finds himself back down at the bottom of the map, spawning a couple of locusts. And Hazu is getting into range for experience. Yeah, claims a bit more here, as he still helps them out at the top. And since they have a bunch of Siege Giants at the bottom of the map as well, this means that they could go... I was for saying, with the chest spawning, I thought Hazups would go and slap the chest. And he does! Slap it, baby! So damn good. Sladatha. But yeah, those siege giants at the bottom of the map would worry me a little bit if I'm Team Ashe, because yes, they might get the fort at the top and siege successfully through it, but not only did they lose the chest at the bottom, they lose the top one too, and those siege giants are taking the structures down here, and this is something that you can't... I mean, this is bad. This is really bad. Now, granted, the turn-ins are getting more and more expensive as things continue, so this is a part of it. But I would be very worried if I am the red team, losing so many structures down here. Now, they are going for the boss at the top, and that's actually a different element and factor in the equation that has so far not been used by the Bratwurst boys. That might change things. Level 13 is ready, but I don't think they realize that this is being taken. So this is nice. This is really good for the red team. Team Ashe with a good move here. Gate also destroyed. But the bot lane still is suffering, and as I said, as Samuro gets into the late game with Abathar support, it's becoming problematic. Brightwing alone, for example, is not going to be able to hold this if they are eager to make that kind of play. Rhaegar's trying to turn in, is able to make it work. Nice! And that means that the mid lane keep is now taking damage. Won't be destroyed, but it is going to take damage. And everybody is already moving away. They're dealing with the boss up at the top. Both teams on level 13. Shots are being fired, as you can see. And it's not taking the keep out completely, but it will be... Well, actually, it might. I think those towers... The gate was gone and the towers were damaged. Is that going to be enough to take it? It is! They're going to get the keep. Nice. Keep is falling. Shots are being fired. And that is mid lane catapults spawning for the blue team. Still are rotating over here. Try to maybe even flank in for this, but now they can play the macro game with Samuro all the way up at the top. And since nobody seems to be retreating for Team Ash, that's gonna be... I mean, that's gonna be a big problem. He's getting catapults in, and with Abathur's support, he can go through that gate super quickly. And that's the next lane that gets attacked by Blackhearts if they get another turn in. So yes, Hogga, thankfully, is retreating in order to deal with this. We're now 9 minutes in. And Samuro is still getting some work done. And obviously, with Abathur support, Lopaka is having a tough time dealing with him. 1v1 against a hero that has some Abathur support is always a bad idea. Generally speaking, the Bratwurst boys, they are in the driver's seat. They have the additional doubloons again. They've been super diligent getting all of these camps. If they can get some kills, that would make things even better. Jumping in with Mirrodin. There's the Water Elemental attempting to slow things down. And Samuro is moving in at the side. But they hold the doubloons. They're always threatening the turn-in. Death Knight is already attempting to deliver with Rhaegar. BFG gets used. But this could become a problem. A 16 is also close. I mean, you're so close to level 16 right now. And there they have it. So that's a talent advantage that gives us Numbing Blast for Jaina. And in addition, we now have Envenomed Spikes. Merciless Strikes are in too. So this is kind of where things are starting to get a bit out of hand for them. Turn-ins so far haven't happened, but Samuro is back on his usual shenanigans and is stealing the pirate camps away at the top right. Masquerade, they really want him. Even the Ancestral has to be thrown out, but they get the copy. Jaina is in, Cassia is gone, and Samuro is whacking away at Brightwing and takes her down too. So that's 3 kills that they just got, just bam. Jumping in the fight, get the kills, get the turn-in. That is another barrage. It will hit the top, and since everything here has already been damaged, it might take the keep down. If not, it will only have a sliver of health as it stands. And we have another set of doubloons on the map, and not only do we have the chests, but they're going for the next Siege Giant camp down here too. So yeah, top side. I think this one might just survive. We'll see. Nah. They're gonna take this one too. That's 2 keeps gone, which means only the bot lane still is sustained here. And of course, because they just got the chests, they still have a huge amount of doubloons here. And Team Ash will have to YOLO into the middle of the map. I don't see another way. They gotta YOLO straight into the middle of the map and prevent another turn-in, because we basically have enough gems. They have one doubloon short. 1 doubloon short. Abathur's trying to turn in first. So does Rhaegar. Every single doubloon that you turn in is 1 doubloon that you secure. That you can't lose anymore. That your opponent can steal away from you. But Team Ash is throwing a bit of a Hail Mary now. And they have to. I mean, what else are you going to do? You're down to a single keep. Your opponent still has 3 standing. And you are nowhere near enough doubloons that you can go for a turn-in. They hold 6, but that is just not enough. So they have to go for this. They have to try and take this one out. And to be fair, they have a double camp. This is still super annoying. Yes, the Blizzard comes down, but they need more. But this is exactly the kind of play that Team Ash loves to do. They have one choice and one choice only, and that is YOLO. Let's go. Let's go and do it. And they go for Sergeant Hammer immediately, trying to force her back. So far, so good. Jaina with her rotation gets the abilities out. Ancestral, Ice Block, all used to keep her alive. Mirrodin is dead, and so is Jaina. But they kill Cassia at least. Yeah, and then Rhaegar dies, and all of a sudden Team Ash is saying, you know what, boys? This is a nice game. This is a nice base. It would be a shame if it would get destroyed. So they come in, they have the 1 level lead still, but they only have Samuro and Abathur. Now, Abathur has Mule, but yeah, can they go for core? They might have to, but I don't think they can. They take the keep out, and that's big, but that's a lot of heroes that were just killed. And another 24 seconds until Mirrodin is back. They are gonna try. Of course they're gonna try. It's Team Ash that we're talking about. Of course they're gonna try. Why wouldn't they try? They have to try. They will try. Samuro is doing his thing. They have to apply pressure to Sergeant Hammer now. Can they win the game here? It's a typical Team Ash game. Typical Team Ash performance. And Sergeant Hammer is dead. And that's the end of the core push. They damage it a bit at least, but the core push is officially over. It's officially done with. Blessed Shield to save the day. Muradin is jumping in. Samuro's on the way. Renella tries to get out. They have level 20 now. There's the second jump as Muradin goes for rewind. 11 kills, 2-5, and the chests have spawned again on the map. They can go for another turn, but of course they want the kills instead. They want to end the game, and they are murdering them where they stand. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead or dying. Brightwing is trying to get away. She's not going to make it either. Goodbye. Brightwing is destroyed.
And we say bye-bye.
14-5 the kill count, and now they are making their way over to the core. Looks like halfway glorious victory for the Bratwurst boys. It got tricky for a moment. It got a bit scary for a second. If Samuro would have died, it would have been the end of the game. But now they can go for the core. They can lock in the 1-0. The lead in the best of 5 series here. Unless, of course, Hogger is pulling that off with a shockwave. Damn, he gets a kill on Jaina. Nice! But it's not enough to save the core. Team Ash loses map number 1. Blackheart's Bay goes to the Bratwurst boys as they take the lead in the best of 5 series. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom, game number 2. So, Team Ash trying to set up a bit of a Doom push at the top. To be fair, they didn't really have another choice. It always looks like, hey, if they take the keep and they go back, yeah, if they do that, then the blue team turns in their doubloons and takes the final keep out at the bottom. And let's not forget that we still had that Samuro and Abathur wildcard that they could have played in the late game to just take structures down. So, yeah. Not really a thing. They did what they had to, and also it's Team Ash, so of course there is only one choice for them, and that's what they did. But either way, we now have Vikings banned out immediately. That was a given. Anduin gets banned on the other end. Okay. I guess a little bit of a soft ban also against any kind of Genji shenanigans. Are they going for a sniper comp? Are they going to pick Varian here? If you ban Anduin this early, you're either trying to get rid of any kind of Anduin light bomb engage combo, or you are trying to just simply deny your opponent any kind of tool to save a hero once that it's being taunted and locked down. Yeah, that's the question. So we could get a Varian pick, is what I'm saying essentially. Could also be that I'm absolutely over-interpreting things right now, but we'll see. I mean, it's first pick time. Tracer has also been banned. Still game number 2. When it comes to draft rules, the one rule that is still maintained here is you can only play a hero once within a series. Okay, so what's the red team's answer? What's their weapon? What are they picking to head into the draft? Maiev! Good choice. For multiple reasons. A, you want to take it away from Ultralisk. One of the most important things. Make sure Ultralisk doesn't get Maiev. And also, Bishops isn't too shabby on the hero himself. So a nice one. But okay. Right now, do we get Varian? Is that the opening here for Masquerade? That's my personal question. We get Blaze and we get Hanzo. Okay, no Variant just yet. I mean, there's enough heroes that Masquerade can bully people with. But yeah, Blaze, Hanzo to kick things off. And Hanzo Towers of Doom again is kind of neat. Good arrows. But they gotta deal with Maiev. I was the entire time waiting for somebody to pick maybe a bit of a curveball hero here. Especially since the towers. And it's always the Bratwurst's go-to, right? It's like the map that they really love. They've been playing this for ages, and I'm, if anything, surprised that so many teams don't ban it out. Now, there's not a lot of maps that you can ban, and what Team Ash banned was Shrines, Infernal Shrines, which is kind of interesting to me. Because Infernal Shrines is such a vanilla and generic map that is normally used in nearly every single series, that it was kind of interesting to see that they wanted to get rid of it. If there's any map in the pool where you think, okay, this is really something that the blue team prefers, then it would be towers. Greymane gets banned as well. I mean, again, you have Maiev, you have Dehaka, so there's already a decent amount of control there. Lucio speeding them up across the map. With Dehaka taken, you have global control, which is something that they, by the way, gave up, right? So they didn't go for that. They could have gone Dehaka, but they decided in favor of Blaze for that added bunker. And there's Diablo, so they're actually playing around the front line. And Dibbles is a fair ban as well. But again, leaves us with the situation here on the blue team for the double pick. We need a healer, we need a bit of damage. They can technically wait with the healer towards the end. But yeah, Masquerade, he needs to make his choice. Still tons of options available to him. Depends a bit on if they're adding more burst damage, yes or no. Stukov and Varian. Called it. Called it, called it. If you're going for that ban pattern that they exhibited, then Varian becomes a very, very strong option. So, Taunt into Blaze Stun. Then we got also Hanzo, Stukov, Ultralisk can always get some added damage. It can be melee, can even add a stun. We've seen them with a triple front line, adding, for example, Imperious. But right now, if you're following up on those stun comps, then you can do a lot there. Anubarak and Chromie are the final two picks for Team Ash as we are about to head into game number 2 of the best of 5 series here. The lead goes to the Bratwurst boys. Ultralisk is coming in with the final pick. And the interesting part, of course, is going to be, will he add another range to the equation? Or are we now going to get them... I mean, Genji's up too, right? They could go double Shimadas. And he goes Liming. Okay, more burst damage. Liming, Towers of Doom. Game number 2. Let's go, everyone. Game number 2, the lead in this series goes to the blue team. They have the 1-0 over their opponents. And now, of course, the big question. Can they make it a 2-0 as we are heading into our second game on Towers of Doom? We have Hazops on Blaze, we got Death Knight on Stukov, Masquerade on Varian, Hanzo with Dino, the other way around, Ultralisk on Liming. And over on the right side of the map, it is Bishops on Maiev, Renella on Lucio, Morenas on Dehaka, Lopaka with Chromie, and Maitrai on the front line is playing a Nubarak. Alright, it is party time in the house over here. So, what can they actually pull off with all of this? Are we going to get our hits in? Are they going to get the kills now? Who's going to be who's going to make the big plays right now? Especially in the early game, as they're obviously all starting to dive in an attempt to get some damage done over here. Yeah, specifically when you're thinking about it, early game kills that they get right now would be kind of wild. You could do a whole lot with that, just gaining the momentum to get those pumpkin camps, start to take a bit of a lead on this, but everybody is just like easily moving away. Nobody is making any massive moves, so yeah, easy plays. Nothing that's too insane from either one of the teams. You don't have that massive 5 versus 5 that lasts forever and results in 5-6 kills or anything like it. But what we're definitely getting is an attempt at the bottom of the map to go for first blood, and I think they're going to grab it right here. Dino is low, and Dino is gone. So, goodbye. Dino gets murdered. He's eliminated. Job well done, and that is the first kill in game number 2, in this case for the red team. Team Ash with a good start. And immediately rotating over towards the pumpkin camp, starting to make a move on this one. And yeah, let's see how far they can go. Can they invade, for example, the second one as well? So far it looks like they just might already. The aggression against Masquerade as Varian gets ping-ponged around. The tether connected too. There's a bit of body blocking going on. And it is the end. Yeah, well played. That's exactly how you make those moves in the early game when Varian is just an oversized minion and not a real boy yet. You bully him, you make sure that you get those kills eventually, and then you find yourself in the glorious spot where you take a lead in experience, you have a kill advantage, you have a bit of map control that you can use against your opponent. And this is how they're currently dealing with this. Steal the pumpkins away, break through the wall at the bottom of the map, Finally, Varian has taunt, and now they can start to fight back a bit. Because, of course, they have tons of CC that they can use here. And they will try to do that in order to just murder them. And, well, the first attack is already happening. Morenas is a little bit low, but first of all, the Nubarak falls. The camp is about to be taken. They still grab it. They get the camp. Lucio dead. Dehaka dead. Damn, it's a graveyard play. As Ultralis comes in, uses the resets on Liming, and gets even more kills together. So, yeah, good stuff. Huge amount of momentum now, thanks to those plays. And kill after kill. First one to fall was an Uberak. Lucio follows Dehaka second. And then last but not least, Maiev gets murdered too. Ultralis is enjoying his game right now. He's having a good time. The exchange at the top at the altars are now being channeled. But yeah, Ultralis is definitely doing what he's supposed to here. He's coming in swinging with the resets on Liming and murders everything in his path. Shots are fired, 2 altars against 1, as you would expect. Yeah, well, and still the little moves here being made against... Well, they're now down at the bottom of the map right now. Renilla, careful. Has a chance for another taunt, and they get in on a Nubarak, but the follow-up wasn't there immediately. Liming likely also going to go disintegrate in this game, since the Nubarak will go Cocoon. So another thing to keep in mind here as this continues. But yeah... Let's see how far they can go with this, because the red team is still being aggressive. This is one of the trademark things when we're talking about Team Ash. They're always aggressive. They're always looking for the next fight. Very rarely are they actually staying back and just trying to play passive. They must be at a real disadvantage if they're trying to buy time. Instead, we're always seeing them look out for the next fight. Both teams are still on level 7, so level 7 talents are kicking in there. And just generally, it's all about the camps right now until the next set of altars spawns once more. And the team in red has already grabbed theirs. But they want to go for Masquerade. Chromie with all the damage gets the burst. Stukov with the lurking arm. And they get another stun. Masquerade is low, and they can take him down. That's the beauty of Maiev in that situation. She gets the kill. Growing infestation, not only sexual innuendo, as Stukov talks about his pants, but also a description for what happens when he drops a lurking arm on the opponent. So continuously expanding that and covering a huge area, which really helps him on those mercenary camps and so much more. 4 kills to 3. So they're continuously fighting. They're going for battle after battle after battle. It's just fight after fight after fight that we're currently seeing from the teams here. 4 kills to 3, level 9 on the board. We have 2 altars up, and the teams are maybe going for an easy exchange. Or are they? Lucio! No, he can't get taunted like this. If you catch Lucio in a situation like that, it's just lights out. Nice Tom connect against Liming, but now Dehaka's in trouble. The first altar has been channeled. Mai Try gets his own though, and Hanzo falls. So the teams are still exchanging blows throughout all of this. Chromie is completely alone here, and she's not the only one that's gonna fall. Liming gets a kill, but they're going for bishops to drop another one. So that's 2 heroes eliminated. And they might even get Mai Try. Yeah, maybe. I mean, they are trying to chase him down, and Liming is... You don't have to ask Ultralis twice in a situation like that. The arrow of death, but Liming is already going for the kill. I love how Dino just YOLO'd out the arrow, and I was just like, I want to get a kill too. And Ultra just said, nope, that's mine. So, they have heroic abilities, so it was of course a huge factor also towards the end of that last battle. Getting all of that done. By now we're having them more than a level ahead. They're actually 1.5 levels ahead here. And they move straight towards the middle. Masquerade, another taunt, another kill. Bishops in trouble, and he's dead. So, well done, nicely played. And Team Ash is struggling slightly. The disc is out. We have 28 points on the core. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they're actually going to perform here from here on out. But it suffices to say that the blue team seems to be in full control of the game. And is doing a spectacular job here, keeping the red team in check. Now, game is not over. This is a comeback map. People are, for a reason, joking that the first 10 minutes of the map don't really matter. And to an extent it's true. Now, obviously, if your opponent picks up too much momentum, then you're still going to be in a lot of trouble and will likely get snowballed. But you can always come back here on Towers of Doom. Now, right now, 12 kills to 4. We have nearly level 13. They're stealing some of these camps away, and there's only a single altar at the bottom of the map that Ultralisk is easily able to channel. They haven't taken any bell towers yet, but they are whittling away at the hit points on the red team side. So, again, Disc is out. Pumpkins are making it in. They could claim that altar, sorry, that bell tower now, and they likely will. But they were also hoping for a few more kills, which they couldn't quite get. But it's a 5 versus 3 bell tower situation now on the map. So, yeah, job well done. Now, they still need to try and maintain that momentum for as long as they can. 24 to 32 points on the core is not really that big of a deal just yet. Again, easily brought back if you win some team fights and start to take control of the game again. But they can now look for additional kills, maybe even poke some of the remaining bell towers to see if they can get the full barrage going eventually. Blaze is back up towards the top, and with the Nubarak now also spawning some beetles, they are really hoping to take this slowly down. But the flank is there. Arrow misses. Dino did not connect the arrow here. There comes Chromie. They go for Stukov, and Death Knight is dead. Death Knight dead, and yeah, doesn't seem like Liming didn't get the kill here. Neither did Hanzo. They were close. They were really close to trading kills at least, but that's a good one for Team Ash. Oh boy. Ultralisk with the ultra damage, and they get another one. Ultralisk is sitting at 28,000 damage. 28k. Absolutely crushing it. Good for him. There's another taunt. Doesn't even need it. No taunt. Just a slow. And that's the end of the Haka. Double ult at the top. They're gonna get at least one. Ultralisk is moving back, but he's been crushing it this entire game. Kill after kill. The killing spree earlier was just glorious. And we'll see how much more they can do now. But Death Knight is channeling, so that's giving them 5 shots. And they might even fight for this. Usually you're just going for an even exchange, but given how far ahead they are, they might just fight for this and try and pick up a couple of more kills in the process. And that seems more or less what we're going to get. The problem is that this one is very difficult to take when your opponent has solid range damage, and that's what they're getting. So the attack is coming. Already the move from Maiev as she's coming in. Where's Stukov when you need him? Bunker on the ground first. Stukov might be in trouble here. Gets stunned. They go for Death Knight. He gets the heal. The Haka gone. And Stukov can turn it. Stukov can turn it. There's the lurking arm zoning them away as they chase Chromie. And Chromie is low. Chromie is really low. They kind of want her. Masquerade is diving in deep for it. Maybe a little bit too deep. Definitely too deep. Masquerade just YOLO'd. Yeah, he's dead. Can they still get the altar? I doubt it. Yeah, Masquerade dying and just committing Sudoku here was not the right move. But they're taking an Uberak out, and the rest of the... Oh, Jesus. Lucio's dead too, so yeah, they're gonna get it eventually. It's gonna take a while, but they're gonna grab it. As long as Chromie is alive, it's difficult to take. They're already zoning her off, and oh, Dino, no mercy. Absolutely no mercy. 16 against 13, another 5 shots fired. The core down to 14 points, and they are crushing it. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Top side, yeah, there comes the Haka and Blaze, still locked into their 1 versus 1. But boy, oh boy, what a setup there. Yeah, it's gonna get tricky. It's gonna get really tricky for the red team to bring this back. I mean, again, they had a long day already, but this is definitely not an easy one for them. Trying to cover only the experience gap in and of itself is already going to be a bit of a miracle. But trying to recover also just the momentum that the blue team have built up. If they can keep killing Stukov, then maybe. The support is definitely the weak link that they identified. They've been going for him every single fight, just single-mindedly trying to take Stukov out. And now Hazu is without any real tools that he can use here. He only has his bunker, but there's no heals anymore. But Morenas is so low that he falls. Stukov or no Stukov, even without a heal, they're going into the fight and taking them. And Ultralisk is just enjoying himself. Maiev is dead. Ultralisk gets another kill, another reset, looks for another combo. Dies. He actually jumped into it but they get the rest of the team too. 5-man team wipe. And a triple altar is coming up with only Blaze and Hanzo still alive here. But yeah, check out Ultralisk. He kind of out-juked himself. Look at Ultralisk now. He dodged everything and then jumped straight into it. Yeah, and then they get the rest of the kills here. So the Bratwurst boys, they are just crushing it. And well, I'm not sure what to tell you, but that's nearly game. If they still had 5 bell towers, it would be over right here, right now. As is, we're going to get the core drop down to 2 points. 6, another 4 connected, and that makes 2. 1 altar, 1 boss is all that's needed, and they are going to take victory here. So, yeah, big arrow, connects, gets the triple kill, and Hazu survives. Hazu makes it out, good for him, but how do they end the game here? Are they going to be able to go for the boss? Is that going to be shut down? Even talents, that's the good news, at least they have even talents for the fight. Still behind in experience, still behind in stats, and yes, it leads in with a kill on Lucio. That's your support gone, and this is the beginning of the end. Yep, that's gonna be the end of game number 2. Another 5-man team wipe. As Chromie is dead, the entire team is eliminated, and the core is going to fall as well. GG, ladies and gentlemen, that is a 2-0. We are going into game number 3 of the best of 5 series here at the grand final of qualifier number 5. Nicely done. Game number 3, Battlefield of Eternity. The Bratwurst boys are ahead once again, and they especially Ultralisk. He had a lot of fun in game number 2, didn't he? I mean, his Liming play is there, just bonkers, absolutely crazy. So really nice. Now we have Tracer banned. I mean, Team Ash is currently just looking at the damage dealers on the blue team side, thinking, yeah, what exactly do we want to get rid of here? And when we're talking about damage dealers, Team Ash played Lunara before on this map, because you have to remember, heroes that were played once cannot be played again. Which means that a lot of the heroes you would normally see in Battlefield of Eternity are now out already. Chromie, Liming, Greymane got banned earlier, so I guess he's technically still up. Hanzo has been played, but you can still play Lunara. It's something that Team Ash can do. Greymane can be played, Vala can be played. You could go Jimmy with Exterminator if you wanted to. And there's of course a few more options, but those are usually your go-tos when you're looking for that. And just as a side note, as I said, Team Ash, they have played Lunara before on this map. Uther gets the ban hammer as well, and is also once again first pick, first ban for Team Ash here. They lost the last map, so they could decide whether they want to have map choice or they wanted to start the draft with a ban and their first pick. And what are the Bratwurst boys eliminating? Are we going to get more bans on damage dealers? Uther being banned shuts down Uther main tank double support with Vala. Not all that likely. Again, that's normally something you play with an auto attack style Vala, but we have seen that on Battlefield of Eternity 2. At the end of the day, oftentimes the question is, what are you actually trying to do? Kill the opponent's team and then go for the Immortal? Mix of both? Or just fully going for immortal speed? You can still use the heroes, of course, in big team fights, but if you want to win the race against the opponent, it offers sometimes options of how you can approach the objective. Either way, first pick, damage dealers might be the play, but we also have Diablo banned out, so you could go for tanks, and it is Garrosh, which is also interesting in the sense that Garrosh on Battlefield of Eternity combos off extremely well with Zarya. Not something that we see a whole lot. That's something that the Swedes in particular have played in the past. These days it's the Frenchies of the Bobby Cottage fan club that busted out with Ixia, just loving to play Zarya. But before it was Lauber and his boys that did that a lot when they were still playing. So could be a play here for the red team. And we get Urel and Greymane. Yeah, that's a nice one. That is definitely a nice opening. Urel for the side lane. Super solid pick. And then Greymane for immortal damage. So you could go Vala here. Vala, Lunara, probably your two best bets. Bigger question is, are they going to take Zarya or not? That's honestly for me the biggest question of all. And it doesn't seem like it. Anduin, Vala, they are the two that they're locking in, so we're going to get the arrow build. And now I just want to see if the Bratwurst boys are actually banning Zarya, if they're just sitting there saying, you know what, they might not take it, they might not even think about it, but we don't want to go up against it. That stupid speed bubble on level 4, empowering Garrosh endlessly, is something that we don't need to deal with here, so just let's ban it out, just to be on the safe side. It might be something that they're doing now. If not, then a possible target would be the side lane. But they're getting rid of Zarya. They're not taking any chances here. They're playing the safe and are doing their thing. Now, final ban. And for Team Ashe, what do they remove here? Death Knight, Ultralisk, and Masquerade are still missing. You could deal with the damage, but targeting the tank maybe. And they do exactly that. With Greymane already locked in, they eliminate Tyrael. They don't want to go up against Greymane empowered by Sanctification. Masquerade goes for the Panda. It's Chen time. Chen main tank, or are they going to swap or play him in the side laner role? I mean, it's main tank, right? He's going full Capybara on us. He's going full Korea style. Urel and Chen. Last time I've seen that, I've seen it in a Korean tournament. Capybara loves to play it on this map, and he does it with great success. Here comes Ana, which already suggests that we are going to get another mage for the final pick. But, yep. Main tank Chen. I loved it when Capybara did that. It was the first Chen main tank that I've actually seen with high success rate, and he played it beautifully. I believe it was the Skyline Cup. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was it. So let's see if Masquerade can follow in his shoes. Imperius for side lane. And Malthael, the triple front line, protecting Vala here as she is going to try and get the arrow stacks together. The final pick, everybody. We got Ultralisk to add more damage to the equation. I think he might have liked to go for Imperius himself, honestly. This looks more and more like we're going to get a triple frontline from them. Maybe they're going to bust out Thrall here, but this could have been an Imperius pick for him. He loves to play the hero. It would have fit well with the comp. So, what is Ultralisk now getting in? Final pick, Battlefield of Eternity, Ultralisk with Stage is set. Let's go. Game number 3, match point number 1 in the grand final. The blue team with Hazops on Urel, Masquerade on Chen. We got Death Knight on Ana, Dino and Greymane, and Nezebo played by Ultralisk with a Toad build going into Pandemic. It's kind of interesting in the sense that if your only goal is to poke the Immortal down, you're normally going for a Spider build because it allows you to poke from a distance and just use the spiders on them. But if you go for a Toad build, you can bust through structures so much faster. So he is likely going to push a bit on those side lanes too. On the right side, we have Team Ashe with Bishops on Imperius, Maitri on Garrosh, Renella on Anduin for Team Ashe, Murenas on Vala with an arrow build, and Lopaka is playing Mephisto. Malthael, the guy with the M, the other guy. So, Toad build can actually be pretty powerful, particularly when you get Vital Infection. Now that might be a bit of a stretch because this is after all Battlefield of Eternity, and getting full stacks for Vital Infection on 20 is always a bit tricky here. But he will be able to get nice structural damage out. Toads, especially against structures, are just crazy. If you've ever seen Toad build Nezebo with Vital Infection start to attack a core, it's insanity. Absolute insanity. But yeah, Masquerade is immediately in some trouble here and dies. So, easy first blood for Team Ashe once again. A bit of a problem here for our Panda. Now, one of the things, I talked about Capybara a bit earlier as Chen, and one of the things that he's basically done once that he hits level 10, he goes into Keg as usual, and then uses it nearly exclusively to just disengage from fights. He always zones out the opponent. If he's in trouble, he kegs out, he creates space for his teammates and allows them to roam on the map. So if Masquerade is able to do that and not being too aggressive, that would be kind of nice. That was a beautiful zombie wall, by the way. A work of art. Ultralisk is an artist. What a fantastic zombie wall here by him. And it ends up with Garrosh being eliminated. Awesome. Pretty awesome. Yep, the attacks are coming, and he's doing mad amount of damage. I mean, damn. I know we're only 2 minutes into the game, but just look at this. He's at 7,000... Sorry, Grayman is at 7,400 damage, and Nazeebo at 4,700. That choke point fight empowered them to absolutely rip this apart. Vala was able to get some stacks, granted, but that was awesome. Especially the zombie wall that we just got from Nazeebo. And they're still playing it out at the bottom of the map, with Vala hoping to stack against Masquerade, turn him into a pincushion, and they get another kill. He's griefing. The Frenchman is griefing. I'm not quite sure if all the other Germans in here can make up with their efficiency for what Masquerade is currently pulling off here, but yeah, he is feeding hard. 2 kills to 1, both against the same guy. No. Also, interesting level 4 choice here, going for Blood Ritual. So, okay. Gets the Blood Ritual in addition to that. I mean, to be fair, with the takedowns, you get the Voodoo Ritual stack. So if you are expecting a kill-heavy game, that might help. This is always the tricky thing when you're trying to play Nazeebo on a map like this. I mean, first of all, Battlefield of Eternity is generally speaking a map that is fairly fast-paced. So that's the first problem. And you might not even make it to level 20. And second of all, then, do you get your stacks together? Yes or no? And he is going to try. But yeah, time will tell. I mean, either way, for now, we have down at the bottom of the map still the play being made with a halftime show victory for the blue team. Each team was moving in. Vala doesn't have Monster Hunter yet, so that's definitely a problem for her. Can work around the reset on the arrow a bit. And Masquerade is again that damage sponge that they're using, as Grayman is finally assisting him, pushing things back and starting to focus back onto the Immortal to slowly take that out. Hazorbs. Urel is kind of funny in the sense that every single time that anybody engages into her, she just goes for the get out of my teamfight move. Yeah, well, that was a really good flip from my try. Garrosh facilitates the kill against Nazeebo. And, well, that's death. Death and despair for the blue team. At least initially, but they're still trying to get the Immortal here. Masquerade is overdoing it a bit with his feeding. I mean, honestly, right now he's just going way too deep on these ones. That's 4 kills to 1. Again, level 10 will change things, of course, but they're bullying the Panda. They're bullying him heavily, and they're allowing Morenas to get his hits in with Vala now. So this objective might, after all, go to the red team. Team Ash might actually win this one. They're back with 5 on the map, but there's nearly level 7, and then Vala is going to have Monster Hunter. Hazorbs is already low, and is still dying. Hazo's dying. Hazo's dead. That's level 7, that's Monster Hunter. Vala can go for the Immortal and take it. First objective is looking grim. They were looking fantastic initially, and now it just looks like utter disaster. They're taking all of the toads with Anduin. Vala can easily move over towards the right side now. Still busy here. Masquerade, he came, he saw, and he died again. That's essentially what's happening here. He moved in, wanted to get it. They might have it now, thanks to Nazeebo. No, it is. Yes, okay, there it is. They win it. But they're 5 kills behind, and 4 of them at least are on Masquerade. Yep, 4 kills. The Panda died 4 times. Oh, boy. No surprise that they're having trouble getting the Panda count higher in China. I mean, if every single one of them just goes face all time, all day, every day, then it doesn't shock me in the slightest. Grayman is dead now too, and Team Ash is starting to bully people. Oh, thankfully for them, Nazeebo is getting some damage in down here. Only hit 1 tower with that. They need level 10. They really do. Panda again up at the front. They're breaking through at least the wall. Bit of damage on the fort wouldn't hurt yet either. But look at the stacks for Vala. She's sitting at 19 stacks already. 19 stacks for Morenas. They go for the Panda again. This time he survives, but boy. Grayman is top side. They're level behind, and that level 10 is another problem. I mean, yeah. Really tricky. Vala gets jumped, but as long as they have everybody else on here, they're going to be fine. Grayman in the top, locked into a 1v1, so we have 4 versus 4 now down at the bottom of the map, but the problem is still the same. Your opponent's gonna get level 10, you're not gonna have it, and now Haas is dead too. God, they're getting farmed. 8 kills to 1. The Fiorino at the beginning was definitely a bit too much. Maybe they misunderstood Nazeebo's talent. That would make sense. Maybe they thought, look at the passive, takedowns grant 3 stacks of Voodoo Ritual. Maybe they didn't understand that it's only their own takedowns. They thought it was takedowns of the opponent as well. And if that's the case, I mean, damn, then Nazeebo would be stacking his baseline like crazy right now. And with 8 kills of the opponent's team, there's level 10. For the objective, I guess they're gonna have heroics. But look Bishops. Bishops is actually moving in from behind now. He's like, yeah, we got this. Objective gets announced. Ana, Nazeebo, flip, attack, stun, and Ultralisk is again ultra dead. Masquerade, he might escape. Does he get the barrel in time to keg away? No, he doesn't. Oh, but they're getting a kill. They're getting 2 kills. They're taking Vala and Garrosh down. Greymane, Dainu with good moves, and then the 4 took him apart. So now both teams have finally level 10 abilities, and they can start to fight back a bit. They go for the keg, and Anduin is gone. And all of a sudden, they're at level 11. Just like that. Easy 3 kills. They get the kills. They get even more, maybe. Dainu, last rites, and he's gone. Yeah, just as I... Well, Bishops will probably die for that. So now it's a real fight. Now it's a real party. It's a real game. We got a match on our hands here. 5 kills to 10. They're trying to catch up with this a bit. Nazeebo doing some work here. Still being caught, flipped, and killed. This is, I mean, seriously, guys. At some point, stop the fiesta. This is getting crazy. You get some damage in with Nazeebo, but they need to get Greymane onto the point or win the team fights. I mean, one of it. But just like YOLOing heroes in there and then feeding them into Garrosh, he is going to turn you into minced meats within seconds. So, yeah, it's just no. And Vala is stacking on this. Vala is stacking easily on this, which is a huge problem. Morenas is at 28 stacks now. Has actually gone strafe in this game, which we also haven't seen in a hot minute. But she's poking, poking, poking. Look how quickly she now takes the Immortal down. Not only is she stacked, but she also has Monster Hunter. And Morenas is taking this easily. They're zoning the fight away from her to give her a little bit more space and time. But she comes in with more damage on Dainu, and that's the end of Greymane. Yeah, I don't know, but this is starting to look like it's gonna be a total beatdown. 12 kills to 5. There's last rites. Another kill. Bye-bye Chen. And Team Ash is absolutely murdering them. 13 kills to 5. It's getting slightly ridiculous over here. They gotta at least try to fight back. Not sure if they can, though. I mean, yeah, looking a bit dicey. Team fight continues. Ana is gone. You can't even keep up with the kills at this point any longer. Everybody is just dead or dying over here. Ravenous Spirit. Maybe they're getting a counter kill, but holy moly. Dainu low and Dainu dead. 15 kills to 5. This is an all-out brawl. We're playing ARAM. We're playing ARAM at this point. 1.5 levels ahead, and they are shitting all over them. I can smell it, Anil, here. Like, this is getting nuts. And Vala is now locking the objective in. Obviously, they won the halftime show already with flying colors. But, yeah, this is more than just a disaster. Getting absolutely wrecked. Not really a good look for them. Looked fantastic earlier, but now it is they're playing Farmville here. So, yep. Not all that great. Now, can they maybe come back? I would say there's a chance. Is it likely? At this point, not anymore. There's not a single... Maybe I'm a little bit harsh here because there's not a single fort that has fallen yet, but we're 11 minutes into the game and this Immortal has 100% shield. They're 11 kills ahead, so unless they are somehow able to, I don't know, get Nazeebo going or whatever, it's just not happening. 36 stacks on Vala, it's nothing crazy. We're like, oh my god, how is she able to pull all of that off? But she has the damage output needed to take the Immortal down quickly, and her hero damage is obviously insanely solid too. We are 42,000 damage for her now. This entire comp that the blue team has just isn't working for them from start to finish. Now they might get a kill here. Yeah, thanks to Ravenous Spirit, but they're also losing Greymane in the same vein. He's killed on the right side, so they're trying to get a kill on Vala. Light bomb! And Imperius says hello, gets a double stun, and Masquerade is dead again. Yeah, Masquerade and Dino died 6 and 5 times. Now Ana is gone. Ultralisk is about to go down. They are totally destroying them. They are 2 levels ahead, and this is going to be a topside keep. Yeah, this is just, I mean, Hazu low, jumps away. The only thing they can really do is run. And that's a keep. 12 minutes in, that's, what was that? Immortal number 2? And the keep's gone. The entire top lane just absolutely destroyed. So, can they bring that back? I don't think so. It would be quite the performance if they would somehow be able to bring this back. And it doesn't really... I mean, I don't see any indication that they're going to be able to. But hey, maybe Nazeebo is somehow able to get level 20 and Vile Infection. Probably not. So unless Team Ash starts inting, they should have this more or less in the bag. There is such a thing as snowball. The only chance that I see for the Bratwurst boys, at least in theory, is get to 16, get to even talents, and then take every single fight that you get and all of a sudden win them. And what is changing on 16 that would allow them to win these fights all of a sudden? Maybe if they've been playing with one hand tied behind their back so far, and then 16 they're starting to play with 2 hands, maybe then it's the thing. But besides that, have fun dealing with it. And Vala, again, she's scaling. The longer the game lasts, the better for her. 40 stacks, she's gonna melt the Immortal to pieces and take them another objective. But again, we've seen crazy comebacks. It could be one. I just think it's going to be difficult. So Chen is trying to kick Ando in a way. Even that misses out. So that ult is something he's not going to get back. And Imperius gets saved, but he couldn't get to Nazeebo, which he wanted. And that's another death on Masquerade. Yeah, he survives the last rites for a moment, but then he still gets totally melted. And Vala can now go for the Immortal. Just imagine her getting level 20 and using Acrobat. Once that they have Acrobat on her, it's gonna get so much worse. There's level 16, but it's a 5 versus 4 because Chen died again. How many times did he die now? 7 times. 5 deaths on Nazeebo, 5 deaths on Greymane, and Chen has died 7 times. Vala wins the halftime show for them within a second, and they should get 100% shield here. The blue team has to wait for Chen, there's no other way. The Immortal spawn position is not helping them either. They gotta engage, they gotta slow them down, and they just can't. So they're trying to stop the bleeding at least a little bit or limit it by going for the Immortal themselves. But this is still, what, 50% shield, 60% shield. That bottom keep might fall here. Alright. Yeah, and 3 stacks also on last rites. It's not only Vala that is getting more and more stacks in. Marthael is getting his cooldown reduction for his ult too. Yeah, that's what I call a party push. So they're gonna try and flank in, and they're gonna flank in hard. But I suppose that they're expecting that too, because what else are they gonna do? They know that it's going to happen eventually. Nobody fell for it, nobody used the rotation, so instead of just flanking into the back, they're still trying to defend here. And good luck with that. Here comes the attack. And Garrosh is looking for the first victim. Nazeebo helps him a bit with the defense here. 90 stacks on his baseline, and on top of that he now also has Soul Harvest. So they're going for my try. If they somehow can get kills, they can stop it and they can slow things down. But the top side is now getting attacked, so there's catapults on the core in just a moment. The shield is already getting attacked there. And in the meantime, what we're seeing is the bottom keep getting absolutely destroyed by the Immortal. Might survive, but they are not even done yet, are they? Because Ana is getting attacked. There's the light bomb. Ana is gone. They're going for the panda. At least Vala is gone. Vala destroyed, that's actually big. But they lose Chen too, and that means that they cannot stop that push for the keep. They might even lose Nazeebo here. If Nazeebo gets destroyed, and he does survive. 6 hit points. But they're going for Hazops. The keep is gone, Hazops is gone. And they're of course hoping to go for core here. I'm just not sure if they really want to go for it just yet. 20 seconds, 25, do they really have the time here without Vala, their main damage dealer? Now, they might be willing to do that, but it is a big of a gamble. They're hoping to get more kills here. That's essentially what's happening. They are going to get damage on the core. But again, death timers are not that crazy yet, and they're missing Vala. So this is too much of a risk to take, and they're falling back for now. Catapults are coming back in. Ultralis has a chance to stack a bit further too. They're making a move for Anna, and they kill her. Another stack for Malthael. He's at 5 stacks now. His ult cooldown is super low here. Anduin with another little play that he's trying to make. Vala is back, but obviously has to travel the map still. Core has lost some of its shield, but not the entire thing, and the Immortal has been announced again, so why not just wait for the Immortal? You know that you have the upper hand here. With level 20 talents in particular, I mean, who's going to stop you? Blue team feeding into you on level 20 is not going to win them the game here. It's 13 seconds until the Immortal is up, and yeah, that's what we're going to get now. So, let's see how far they can go with this. 20 is on the board. 25 kills to 7. Just saying. 25 to 7. And Vala has Acrobat, and she is already using it. Look how quickly she's taking the Immortal down by herself, while the blue team is desperately trying to at least remove the shield a little bit. So yeah, Vala with one ability after another. If anything, if she has a problem at all, then it's her mana pool here. So she's getting the charges back, it's getting the cooldowns ready, and then once that the repositioning has happened, she can make the same moves once again. And just look at this, stacking more, 47, 48. Vala with another move. Haas was trying to go for it, 50, and that damage is way too much. Strafe and goodbye. But Vala gets at least killed. So the Bratwurst boys, they're getting a kill with Nazeebo, who's now at 117 stacks. It might be a different story if he made it to level 20 and had enough for Vital Infection, but that's not the case. Nazeebo gets killed, and just look at the push up here at the top. The core is falling, it's Winion time. They're all running, all trying to get away, trying to somehow sustain themselves to the fight as the Winions are going for glorious victory. And it's not only the top lane that's a problem, it's the bot lane as well. Greymane might get a kill here, but it doesn't change the outcome anymore. The core is at 49%, 45. They're not even trying at this point because they can't. I mean, if not, it's going to be the Immortal that ends it. And yep, that's game. 2-1 in the series. Team Ash takes the victory on Battlefield of Eternity. GG. Well played. Team Ash with a W. Game number 4, Garden of Terror. The 2-1 lead for the Bratwurst boys. And they kind of overdid it a little bit on the third map. Battlefield of Eternity did not go well for them at all. That comp did not work whatsoever. They got murdered by Team Ash. Now that we're heading into Garden of Terror, I want to remind everybody again that the 40 heroes that were already played, sorry, the 30 heroes that were already played, cannot be played again. Still allows you to easily go for very normal comps. There's still plenty of heroes around. We have 90 heroes in the hero pool, so not a problem. But it limits options a little bit more now. When you're talking about tanks, you have to be a bit careful. Okay, what are we going to pick here? What do you ban away from your opponent? What kind of damage dealers are we going to get? Garden of Terror, obviously being a big map, makes it also a bit more likely that we're getting picks like Samuro. Actually, Samuro was already played on Blackheart, so he's not an option. But let's say Falstad, for example. So he could still be picked here. There's a couple of others that also quickly come to mind. I mean, even if you're trying to go for a Viking game, you could do that now, always assuming that they're not going to be banned. But on big maps, they have, of course, a lot of macro control that you can get with it. Diablo gets banned, and on top of that, we have, with Uther now removed, also the chance taken away of like an Uther main tank situation, and even Medivh. So they're getting everything out that is good at saving a target. Are we going to get a Stitches? Uther denying the Divine Shield, Medivh denying the normal shield. Might be that they're preparing the big Stitches. Masquerade is on that team, so yeah. Medivh is particularly strong against that. Vikings are banned. It's kind of sad, but it was about to be expected. I mean, seriously. Would have shocked me if not that. And Ultralis goes for Karrigan. Karrigan first pick. Alright. Karrigan is in the house. And that leaves us with the red team starting to lock their picks in over here. But they already know what's coming. They know that there's an aggressive composition coming from the Bratwurst boys. As the blue team is going to try to absolutely crush this and play to the wall. The aggression is going to be there for sure. Tyrande and ETC. Old school. Miranda. Well, actually, like ETC, Tyrande. We don't have Mirror in here. Still, same idea, same play. You power slide, you get a stun from Tyrande, you apply the Hunter's Mark, and then it's going to be a mage very likely. And here's Stitches, as expected. Stitches, Uther is out, Medivh is out. They go for Stitches, they got Falstad, Gorge into Gust Isolation. So as long as Masquerade keeps hitting these hooks, they're going to be okay here. It's about what we expected after the bans that they had. Now the question how Team Ash is going to react to it. Specifically to Randa. If she ever gets caught, she's gonna be dead. And there's a lot of heroes that can jump on her. And you got Kerrigan and Falstad that can either jump, fly, Stitches hook. Malfurion gets banned out now. The old geezer. And if you are the blue team, what do you ban now? Genji. Kind of surprised they didn't pick him. I'm actually really surprised they didn't pick him. Genji would have been pretty fun for them, I think. I mean, just imagine Dino playing Genji instead of Falstad. Falstad is great to give them the Gust Isolation on the Stitches hook, but given that there's very little that the other team has, I think Genji would have been pretty cool there too. Yeah, so Genji gets banned out. Double pick for Team Ash. Leo, and damn, Sylvanas is still up. Didn't even occur to me, not even for a second, that we haven't seen Sylvanas up to now. That's right, so Sylvanas, Tyrande currently with the front line of ETC and Leoric. Bit on the squishy side. Might get a third melee here for them. And then Hazops with Rexa. The Call of the Wild. And Death Knight with Karazim. So a bit more damage, a bit more aggression, a bit more mobility here. 7-sided strike after Stitches gets a Gorge. So if you get hooked, you're pretty much dead after level 10. At least you should be. 7-sided strike, Misha stun, Falstad Gust Isolation, Kerrigan combo follow-up. I mean, there's so much here. Now, we got the final pick. Bishops. Let's see what's going to be. Garden of Terror, everybody. Our 4th map in the best of 5 series here of the grand final in qualifier number 5. And we get Kira. Let's go. Game number 4, Bratwurst boys against Team Ash. On the left side, we have Hazops on Rexa. We get him once again with the Misha combo here. As we have Death Knight on Karazim, Dainu playing Falstad, Ultralisk locked in early in the draft, playing Kerrigan in game number 4. And Stitches, played by Masquerade, going into Hungry for More, so he's going to get a bit of a movement speed as well. It's going to be real tricky for anyone to catch up if Stitches gets a hook and gorges the target after level 10. Renella for the red team, he's playing Tyrande. At the same time, we get now ETC in the house. We're having on top of that also Kira, played by Lopaka, Bishops on Sylvanas, and Maitri is playing Leoric. And the blue team is trying to deal with the Sylvanas push, so they split off their forces very quickly onto the remaining lanes. The idea being that wherever Sylvanas pushes with the rest of the team, they have a response there and can buy some time for the rest of them to move in. So that's exactly what's happening right now. And they avoid the tower from being destroyed fully, so only a bit of damage done. It's a big map, so that is kind of a win. Quick stun into stun as Masquerade was already trying to go for a little bit of a trollololol over here. Now, in addition, we have in level 1 talents the Bird of Prey being focused a little bit by Rexa. Yeah, and they're really brawling this one out. I honestly thought this would be a bit of a slower start in the game, but they're going for a full-out brawl, and ETC is probably the first victim, gets hooked and killed. Beef. Somebody wants some burgers on that barbecue. Lopaka also trying to rush away here, but yeah, good start for them into all of this. Death Knight, whee! Here's the hit. Death Knight survives, Falstad falls, and Kira gets killed by a Stitches hook. Stitches then also murdered. That's 3 heroes down on the blue team side, 3 kills to 2 overall. So yeah, they're definitely going for a mad brawl in this game. Making the big plays. 3 kills to 2. It's kind of funny. Now again, as I said before, Stitches with Hungry for More is his level 1 talent choice. Is obviously going to work on his hit point pool. The more stacks he gets, the more hit point heavy he will become as the game continues. And what's also kind of important is that extra movement speed that he has. That's specifically interesting when level 10 hits and he gets Gorged. And that's obviously one of the big reasons why they played Falset in the first place. There's multiple facets to it. One is that this is a big map where you want to utilize a global, and the other is that with Gorge you can isolate any target that Stitches was able to gobble up. So that's going to be the next play that they're going to be making here. But again, we have in terms of talents now Stitches also with a Paralyzing Rage. Falstad is moving around, and they are looking for kills. I mean, Team Ash is really just playing that aggressive style that we are used to from them. And they expose themselves to a Stitches combo, Stitches hook into a Kerrigan combo. With Lopaka being a bit low, but they want to go for ETC here. Tyrande is doing a great job healing all of that up quickly. Her issue is, of course, that while all of this happens, she still needs to be super careful that she herself doesn't become the target, or she might fall insanely quickly. There's the attack against Morenas. He slides out, and ETC is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Ash is again going full on YOLO. Super aggressive game from them right from the start. They get 4 kills to 2. They are not able to get a lot of damage done against the fort itself. But normally at this point in time we have tons and tons of mercenary camps taken. There's just none of it happening simply because the red team is so aggressive and is forcing one fight after another. So it is a brawl. Yeah, we're definitely in for one. But I believe that specifically level 10 abilities will very quickly change the dynamic of the game. They're chasing Masquerade. Masquerade is just continuing where he left off in game number 3. He just keeps dying. Now this time he has a little bit of an excuse. It's much harder to keep Stitches alive than Chen, I'd say. To be fair, Chen was being played as a main tank, so that definitely added to the problem. But now the first fort is going to get destroyed. So yeah, this fort is out. Karazim has started to go for some mercenary camp moves. So it's going to take a while for him to grab that. And in the middle of the map, Morenas sliding around with a power slide here thanks to his level 4 talent, straight through the debris and trying to take a position in the bush to see if he can maybe even jump on somebody. But yeah, it's an interesting game. It's an interesting start into the game. The kill count advantage for the red team is not really a problem yet, but it's obviously a bit telling that team fights seem to be a struggle for the time being for the blue team. If that continues as death timers rise, it might get dicey. But the blue team, again, they want to have level 10, and specifically they would love to have level 13, because level 10 gives them Gorge, which is already a huge asset to have. But even more so with level 13, they get the extended hook range for Stitches, and that will of course then later on allow them to really do work with that hook out of nowhere that you don't even see coming. So that's probably what we can expect as the next move. Couple of plays being made up here towards the top as they're trying not only to go for a kill but also for the fort. They lose the camp at the bottom of the map though, because the red team has just stolen that easily away and is now setting up for a push at the bottom. But ETC dies and Leo is a bit isolated and low and might also bite the dust here. He gets some assistance, but with Karazim and Falstad following up, that's another kill for the Bratwurst boys. Sylvanas, she's not joining the Sausage Fest at the top. Instead, she is now pushing bot side. And that is a bit of a problem. I mean, somebody needs to deal with this quickly, and I'm not quite sure if Rexa is going to be enough. They need some more if they don't want to take keep damage. There's another seed now up on the map that they would love to get, and of course level 10 abilities are now also online. But the attacks, they keep coming. So Mosh Pit it is. Wailing Arrow plus Entomb. And yeah, there's the slide. There's the Mosh, and they save Falstad for a second. He gets out, but Masquerade might get punished for his efforts. This time, not really on him. I mean, he did everything he could to keep them alive. He tried to go for a Gorge on Stitches, but now it's 7 kills to 4, and again the lead in experience. The push through the mid lane, and yeah, Team Ash, the usual aggression for them is working. It's really working. They need to get Stitches back soon. He has only 7 stacks on his level 1, by the way. Oof. 7 globes is all that he got. A globe per minute. The seed hasn't been taken yet, on the other hand. That's a bit of a win. At least they're not on a consistent pressure as this continues. So that helps them slightly. And while the attacks are still coming, the 5-man is on the map. But now, of course, there's the Gorge, 7-sided, on the isolated target. And it should allow them to get some kills. They're not too far behind in experience. It's level 11 versus level 11, half a level that they're trailing. If anything, then it's more so the objective that would worry me a bit, because again, as the red team is trying to go for a 2-0 lead on the objective and they're grabbing it, it means that from here on out, if you don't want to face off against Garden Terrors, you have to face down every single objective that now spawns, every single seed that comes in. There's Gust, Stitches, and another attempt on Mosh. Falstad is already down, Gorge has been used, and they might get the kill on at least ETC. Yes, they can take ETC down. The entire red team has moved past the fort, trying to get even more. Oh, nice. Good hook against Tyrande. That might help them. Can they get a kill here? Starfall is being used. Kerrigan is jumping in. She dies, gets a kill against Tyrande, and Bishop's moved away. Bishop survived. Still 2 kills for 2. Level 13 getting closer. While the top side is being pressured, yeah, they go for another move against Kira, and they should be able to take her down. Lopaka gets a bit of a heal there. The problem is that Masquerade still wants the kill and can't get it, but Karazim claims it. But they're losing too much. Rek'Sai is dead, Karazim is dead, Stitches is falling. I mean, 12 kills, 2-7. Bot side has been defeated. Dino is hoping to surprise Bishops here and get a kill. But this game is just wild. And yep, that's a kill. Get sniped. Now Dino might fall too, but no, there's no stun available. Power Slide came in a bit too late. But just looking at the situation that involves in front of us, you see a level lead for the red team. And just look at the minimap situation. 2 forts have now been taken out. And we're not even talking about the Garden Terrors yet, which will soon be taken. Because it looks more and more likely that that bottom seed is going to them as well. Mosh Pit, Gust, okay, interrupts it. Chrysalis has been used. There's the hook. Now we have the long distance hooks also from Stitches. So another bit of a win for him. If he lives, and he does, but Kerrigan dies, and that's a big part of the combo. So another 5 versus 4. Guys, I don't know, but for some reason, you have to remind yourself, this is the first series of the day that the Bratwurst boys are playing. They are fresh. They are fresh. Team Ash, they've been playing all day. They've been playing game after game after game after game. Falstad gets annihilated up at the top. 14 kills to 8, and we might actually go the full distance if they don't get their act together, because this is gonna hurt. Those Garden Terrors, they are going to hurt them quite a bit. If they can take a keep down, if Team Ash can destroy the topside keep, that would be an interesting spot to be in. Middle fort is falling, that's the last one that they had. Bottom of the map, Kerrigan is defending, and I don't think they can stop this. Not with what they have here right now. They're gonna try. Masquerade is coming in, but he also finds himself on the wrong side. Starts with Gorge. There's Gust. They're trying to move past. ETC doesn't have Mosh Pit anymore. Misses the slide as well. 7-sided being used. They can't get the kill though. Mitra even alive. Even Leo is still alive, but at least Kira dies. The problem is that they also lost Rek'Sai in the process. So now they're chasing. Mosh Pit is being used. The keep is still in play. They might even get another kill. They go for Renella, and at least Tyrande will fall. Tyrande can run. She can't escape this any longer. 16 talents are in. They're trying for Stitches. He's dodging the hooks. He's actually doing a great job dodging this. The hook is missing. The Kerrigan combo was missing too. Falstad has to be super careful as Bishops comes in. Gets the birdie. Easy kill. But now Kerrigan... No, she misses the combo again. Kerrigan misses the combo, but they don't miss ETC. Don't tell me he escapes here. What an entomb! What an entomb! He saves the day for them! My try, he escaped early with 15 hit points, and now his entomb allows them to escape. Ridiculous. Crazy. 16 kills to 11, 16 versus 16 now. We got Pulverize in, but it's crazy. Like, Bishops jumped in, killed Falstad, and then jumped out. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. So now we got 4 kills, or 4 deaths on Falstad, Kerrigan, 5 on Stitches. They are down to their keeps, and the topside keep is super low. So now the big question, can they bring this one back? Can they coordinate their efforts here properly to make a move? Entomb is out. Gust is being used to buy them a little bit of space and time. Starting to drop low a bit. Siege Giant at least are claimed. But the attack continues. Now the one good thing is nobody has a seed right now. So the seeds that are spawning, you can take them or leave them, depending on how it goes for you. But yeah, the attack is coming in once again. Kira, whee! Swinging around, getting targeted, and still making it out of the fight. Yeah, makes it. Mosh pit to stop Misha, I guess. And Misha falls. Hazu's low, so is Death Knight. Red team is not... I mean, again, Masquerade is super deep here. And so is Karazim. Karazim gets killed. They go for ETC, and at least it's a counter kill. ETC is gone as well, but they're struggling so hard in these team fights. It's actually wild. I mean, they're struggling heavily. Masquerade, he has no Gorge cooldown, but he's looking for that hook at least and misses it completely. There's 3 heroes and he goes full wide. Can Misha get a stun? Falls dead. Gust. And they go for Tyrande. They're going to get Tyrande here. Tyrande's dead. Tyrande has no chance of escape. She cannot survive this. And she goes down. But the problem is that Karrigan is apparently also going to get murdered, and so is Rexa. It's crazy. What is happening here? The Bratwurst boys are getting farmed. 20 kills to 13. And the red team is just winning one fight after another. Big time. Bishops jumps out, and with 2 keeps damaged, this is not looking good for the blue team at all. 17 stacks for Stitches is kind of nothing. I mean, the whole gameplay here was really to just be the team that gets those hooks landed, uses a gust isolation, 7-sided strike on the target, and just a quick question. How many times have you seen the combo executed properly? How many times has it happened? How many times have we seen that hook and then the follow-up? None? Once? Did I miss it? So the game is just not going their way. It's the red team that makes the moves. They're dictating the position of the fights. They're dictating the timing. And at no point is the blue team in a position where they can execute these combos the way that they really want. It's horrible for them. Now, they're going to try to still pace this out. They're level behind. But the worrisome point is simply that they just don't have anything left in regards to structures. And they don't have any map control either. Finally, a couple of camps are being taken, but the problem still persists. How do you win these team fights? They got 13 kills so far, but I expected, for example, Karrigan to have a much bigger impact, and she is in these fights one of the first targets and always struggling, as it seems. There's level 20 as another seed pops up. That gives us the shooting star, and we have a lot more mobility. Gorge, and Entomb is immediately there. Might try with the play. They might still go for him, but Morenas jumps out with his level 20, so yeah, good for him. Nice little move. Yes, cooldowns had to be used and exchanged. That's a nice one. At least they get Leo. Leo is down, but then again, he's obviously one that you're willing to sacrifice if you have to. And just a bit of poke against that topside keep is going to take it out. And with that camp that has been set on its path, I doubt that they can stop this. No, they definitely can't. I mean, this is way too much to handle. The keep is going to get destroyed. And they haven't taken a fort out yet. So once again, they can look for a hook. There's the combo on ETC. Not enough damage here. Kira is moving in straight for Misha. Gets that kill. Misha gone. Can they get anybody killed? Leo is back in 14 seconds. Bot sides, yeah, they got a camp doing some damage. I mean, congratulations. You might even get some hit points off the fort. But that's not going to be enough by any means. They have level 20. But they're still going up against Buried Alive. They're still going up against ETC with this plays here. While they are now looking at kill commands. False that gets attacked. Dino jumps out and the Karrigan combo misses again. Get that hook. And it's soaked up by our boy Leoric. Yeah, not a problem. Second seed. They got 5 seeds in a row now. 5 seeds. The blue team hasn't gotten a single one. There's Karrigan's combo, and finally they can get a kill. Finally they got a kill. They got also the isolation of Tyrande. Now we're talking. These are the plays that we've been waiting for. Finally a bit of momentum. Tyrande down, Kira down. Those are the moves. But how much further can they go with this? Pulverize has to use his 20, dodges the hook, and is able to escape. But again, they got to do something with this. You're finally able to get some kills, and it's late in the game, so the death timers are accordingly high. But what are you doing with it? That's the big question now. What's the play? Take a fort down? Have to take the seed as well? Or it's more garden terrors, which you cannot afford to face off against? Yeah, so now an opportunity to make some plays here. Catapult on the keep. That's another thing that they got to deal with. So all the way at the top, already a bit of a move being made. Falset is now the one to take out the catapult in the middle. 36 kills, and maybe now we're gonna get the Bratwurst boys that we expected to see in this series. That we honestly saw in some of the games. They're trying to alleviate some pressure from the lanes, and they're doing that. But now they are going for Falstad. They're trying to get the kill here. And Bishops, he was sneaking in from the side. Yeah, they were looking to set up that flank. And that would have been a problem. Could still be. They're not stopping. They're still playing aggressive, as they should, but they lost some of the pressure because the catapults are now gone. At least some of it is eliminated. So another team fight is needed. Siege Giants are taking these camps. This camp control is insanely annoying. If you are the Bratwurst boys, this camp control is a huge pain in the butt. We've been talking over and over again how important mercenary camps are in Garden of Terror. And they showcase it. Seed has to be fought for, would be the second one for the blue team. This is a bit of a do or die moment for them. They have to fight here. They got no other choice. Can they get that monster hook that they need? And also, can they make sure that they're not falling into a trap with either Mosh Pit or, for example, Buried Alive, completely wrecking them? Yeah, they find ETC, and the hook misses. Carrigan combo is an insta follow-up, straight into the middle of nowhere. And now the attacks, they still keep coming. So, yeah, ETC is still sitting at the side here. They don't see him. They see him now, and he slides out. The hook is missing again. And Leo is giving them vision, and at the bottom of the map, yep, you have a problem. Your keep is soon gone. And Sylvanas is now pushing in for it. They're playing macro here, as they should. Bishops is playing the smart. Carrigan, ready to stop it. That could trigger the channel. It could trigger the attack. Mosh Pit misses. Seven-sided strike, and he barely gets out. But look at the kill command. Kira gets gobbled up, likely going to fall. And Tomb in the back also being used. Kira is the first one to fall. They are a little bit low here. The keeps are still in play. Death Knight jumps out, and there's the gust. They go for Leo, and they drop him too. But this isn't over yet. Renella in reach, in range, can be killed and will be killed. Bye-bye, Tyrande. Tyrande is gone. They get the seed. Morena's on ETC is able to escape, but they're still chasing Bishops. They still want him. They got 3 kills right now, and it was such a clutch play. They had to defend their keep, and they did, and then went in for the fight. The Mosh Pit missing, that was absolutely crucial. That's the play that they needed to execute, and off we go. 20 to 20 kills. Red team trying their best. Down at the bottom of the map again, they still have a push going there. The keep, or sorry, the fort in the middle is destroyed. But they are trying to take this. They are trying to take that fort. Well, what are they doing here? Carrigan is back. Carrigan is back. Here's the chance. Bishops is low, sees Carrigan, and they might try for the kill. Yeah, Chrysalis is being used. Ultralisk! Does he have his bolt? I don't think he has his level 20 up. He walks out of the fight and survives. And they got the camps. Got the camp at the top. 1 second until Tyrande is back. And let's not forget that they have another seed that is spawning. And this is going to be the seed for Garden Terrors. If they get the late game Garden Terrors, this is a completely different story. So once again, we're going into the same fight. Once again, another battle. And, well, let's see what they can do. Who's taking it? They're trying the channel. It's not happening yet. Hook misses. Carrigan's combo into the middle of nowhere. This could damage the top wall a bit, but it's catapult versus catapult. But the big fight, I mean, this is it right here. They go for Bishops, who's playing an amazing game. He died once. 76,000 damage on Sylvanas. 76,000. They cannot allow that seed to be taken. Blue team has to claim it. The winner of this objective is likely gonna take the big advantage here. Combo is in. There's the stun. Mosh Pit. They go. Oh, Kira gets hooked and gorged. Kerrigan is still alive. The fight over there as the gust is being played out. And Kira is about to go down. They can't let her survive. She dies. Kira dies. Feign death. Rexa likely gonna die next. He's gone. And so is Misha. Each team loses a hero. Bishops jumps in, is low. Mitra is also on the move. They're losing at points quickly. Masquerade trying to rush away here, and it's the end of Stitches. This might be the end of the game. Ultra Liz, kill the Chrysalis. He's dead. And holy hell. Insane. 3 heroes down, and Team Ash going for the big plays here. They're trying to go for core. Only 2 survivors. 7-sided strike is ready. Gust will be. I do not think they can buy enough time for this. They'll try, but I don't think they can. Gust into the corner is available, and 2 misses. That was huge. He has to gust them away, and he only hits 1, so they're trying for the kill here. Dino, I think he could have hit way more than that, and now he's dead. Counter kill against Tyrande. I don't think it's going to be enough. We have 4 seconds for Rexa, and the core is at this point at 50%. Yes, Bishops jumps away. They have to stop Sylvanas. She's the one, and she dies. Sylvanas is dead. Can they stop this? Can they really stop this? I don't think so. They might be able to. ETC 20%, 10. Dino screwed it up with a gust. Could have been done better. It's game. We are going to game number 5, baby. The final map in the grand final of the qualifier. We're actually in game number 5. I did not think this would happen. Game number 5. Team Ash pulled it off of Garden of Terror, and now we're heading into Tomb of the Spider Queen. So now things get really interesting. Not only are 40 heroes unavailable because they have been played before, but Team Ash might actually pull off the reverse sweep. Now, this is insane. This is honestly crazy. And I have to admit, right now, I want Team Ash to win. I have been starving for more than an hour. And I've been sitting here after the 2-0 and I was like, alright, it's gonna be a 3-0, a 3-1, gonna get some food. I actually ordered myself some food, which is currently getting cold. And I've been hungry for a while. And I know that just there is my food. And I can't get at it. So, Team Ash, if you already forced game number 5, you better win that fucker. Win that map. Take that series. Go for that reverse sweep. Don't do that to me, that you make it all the way and then you fall short in front of the finish line. That is unacceptable. So, let's go. Nastarovio or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, just take him down. Take him down. At this point, I want to see the Bratwurst boys eliminated. Kill them. They've been winning enough tournaments. They've been trying to take you out. They haven't done it so far. They don't deserve a win here. I'm hungry. I want food. Drop them. No, but let's see if they actually can pull it off. Like a reverse sweep here would be nuts. Against the Bratwurst boys of all teams. Kind of crazy when you think about it. So kudos to them. And again, I don't even know how many games they played today. This is their 4th series. So this is map number 5. The previous one was a 3 map, but that's 8. And the 2 before, I believe, were 2-0. So they played either map number 12 or map number 13 in a row right now. That's where we are at. 12 or 13. One of the two. I'm not quite sure. But suffice it to say, they've played a lot today. I'm actually surprised that none of them have so far come in and said, you know what? We need like a 20-minute break to get some food. So, good on them. Good stuff. Team Ash. How is Junkrat still available? What? Yeah, Tomb of Spider Queen. First pick Medivh, by the way. Medivh is in the house. Ultralis coming in from Medivh. And, yeah. Now the chance to follow up on that. That's a hero that they could have picked with Stitches also in the last game if they really wanted to have the isolation. Didn't have to be Falstad. They wanted to control the bigger map, I suppose. Malfurion and Sonya. Alright. So that's an opening here. Ultralis gonna be Medivh. There we go. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, initially I thought, you know, the blue team has it. But there's just too much speaking against them. Also, where's the efficiency? Yes, sure, you can blame the Frenchie for feeding on Battlefield of Eternity with Chen, but there's 4 Germans on that team. They gotta make up for that. Where's the efficiency? A 5-man German team would have finished that series with a 3-0 a long time ago. I blame it all on Masquerade. Nah, just kidding. Final pick, Cho'Gall. Just you wait. It's perfect. Just look at it. It's a Cho'Gall draft. If I've ever seen a Cho'Gall draft, this is it right here. Oh boy, oh boy. So, come on, Renella. Come on, Bishops. Make Daddy happy. Give me some nice picks. Yes! Alright, prepare for trouble and make it double. I actually think they're picking Cho'Gall here because they thought the Bratwurst boys would claim it. I'm not even joking. The draft of the Bratwurst boys is literally screaming Cho'Gall. So they picked Cho'Gall instead. Look at their draft. Is a Melganis pick something where you're like, okay, this is gonna be Cho'Gall? 100% no. I swear to you, they were thinking, they knew that Cho'Gall would be picked by the blue team and they just picked it away. And they said like, alright, we're gonna play Melganis as an offlaner. Screw it. It's fine. We're playing Melganis offlaner, off we go. Instead, Zul and Suljin now on the other side. And Renella with the final pick. So, let's go. They need a support. Tomb of the Spider Queen, the final map, no matter what happens. This is the end of the road, and they go Oriel. The stage is set, everybody. The grand final, reverse sweep or victory for the blue team. What are we going to get here? Let's jump straight into the 5th game of the grand final of qualifier number 5 of the Banshee Cup. Game number 5 on the left side, Death Knight with Malfurion, Hazuops on Sonya, we got Dainu on Suljin, and we got Ultralisk with Medivh and Masquerade on Zul. So, party up, right side of the map, that's where the real trouble starts. We got Renella on Oriel, Morenas on Malganis, Bishops on Gal, Maitri on Junkrat, and Lopaka with Cho. Well, and the game starts, and boys, that little pause that we just had, I'm not even sure if they were joking or not, but the first thing that happens when the pause comes in is that the red team says like, wait a second, Bishops needs to look up a Gal build. So I have no idea if they're memeing or if they're serious about it, but it kind of confirms my theory, even if they were joking, that they didn't plan on picking Cho'Gall here. They just saw that the opponent wanted to pick him. They realized they had nothing that they could throw against the big fat ogre, and they just decided, okay, we pick it away from them and just play it out. So, yeah, they're going for it. It's Cho'Gall time, baby, and they're going to try and take on Suljin, who's stacking with Recklessness as a level 1 talent, but I seriously wouldn't put it past them if they really were just looking up a build for it, because I cannot remember ever seeing them play Cho'Gall. I can honestly not remember it. So Ultralisk is already sitting here, and the entire draft again of the blue team was just screaming, hey, we can play Cho'Gall now. But either way, it's going to be party time, that one's for sure. So it's going to be fun to see what the players are now going to come up with in order to win this one. Lock in the big fat W. And already Suljin is getting taken out. That's the beauty when you're taking Suljin out. It is still to the day the best way to stop him from stacking his baseline. And that's of course what you gotta do at the end of the day. If you want to survive, you need to make sure that Suljin never reaches the late game. There's a few more stacks coming in as we're also looking towards Medivh, and oof, they're actually going even onto an invade over here. Are they going all the way? Probably not. But yeah. Now either way, as is, 1 kill to 0, a little bit of damage done. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, a lot of damage done down here. So they get a decent amount of damage against the opponent's bot lane wall. Top side, ooh, that's near kill? No. They don't get him. They don't get Malganis, but yeah, I got close for a second. DDXPS. That's a nice Cho'Gall name, by the way. Double D Xeps. It's like, I have no idea how to read this. But yeah, it's actually a funny one. So My Try and Morenas, they both make it out here as Shogal is now getting more or less caught in the middle. But it's party time. Sonya down at the bottom of the map with Siege Giants that she's attacking. Same time, Suljin attempting to stack. Medivh, of course, protecting whatever he can while he is trying to get stacks for himself. But he needs to set those portals up, make sure there is the shield ready. And Zul is roaming between the lanes in an attempt to take the... well, first of all, they're trying to go for Sonya here. But yeah, Zul is trying to get the experience for them by roaming between the mid lane and the top lane. That's another kill, isn't it? Can they get Dino? They're getting damn close, that's for sure. But Morenas is the one that falls. Bye-bye. Mal'Ganis gets eliminated. Shogal on the run, and at least they were able to save him. So he's still in play. And there's a lot of stacks now also for Medivh already. So Ultralisk with 24 stacks. And that's a nice push at the bottom of the map. It's a really nice push. Thus far, it was mainly Team Ashe that did some decent moves against structures, but now it's the exact opposite. The gate is getting destroyed. They're even jumping onto Cho'Gall for just a second here with the portal. And, well, Zul is still rotating between the middle and the top, dealing with Junkrat in the process too. Dino gets attacked. Sits at 12 stacks already. That's actually a little bit of a concern. Dino is at 12 stacks. 13. He's gonna get the range increase in a second. And of course, then the question just becomes, is he gonna go for Arcanite access on level 7, or are we gonna see him with a different build, going more into like auto attacks alone? And if he goes Arcanite access, I mean, the problem that he has is there's only 4 bodies on the other side, right? I honestly do not know if when you play Arcanite access and you hit Cho'Gall, if you get multiple stacks. I have no idea. For other talents, it works like that, but with Cho'Gall, I'm not 100% certain. They get the turn in, and he's actually hesitating a little bit on this too. And there it is. So they're going Arcanite access one way or another. We can have a bit of a look on it to see how many he gets whenever he hits Cho'Gall with it. Either way, range increase is now hitting soon since he's on 13 stacks already. He needs 15 to get the extended range. Yeah, a couple of hits are already coming. It's another one connected, and they're prepping to take down the bottom fort here. So yeah, should actually be an easy one to take out the bottom fort. With Web Weavers, with the wall gone, Web Weavers in. So yeah, that's it. But right now, there's the attacks coming. Dino stacking, 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 gets the hits in. And yeah, it seems like he's going to get the extra stack for Cho'Gall. So yeah, not bad. As long as he's aiming properly for him, he should be able to get those together with time. 16 on the baseline, 34 for Medivh, by the way. Web Weavers have been taken out pretty quickly, but the rest of the map is also still pushing. And now Dino is a bit low. Has to be super careful here. Medivh nearly done with his quest. So once that he's done with that, he can be a little bit more lenient where he puts his shield and portal. But 5 minutes in, Ultralisk completes the baseline, so now he has the cooldown reduction ready. Shogal has positively defended the bottom. Oh, actually, are they going for him? Do they set that portal up? He has 22 gems. If they can take him out, that would be such a win. But I was about to say, they defended the bottom fort, so that was big, meaning that the first Web Weaver wave for the blue team didn't really have that much of an impact. Took some walls out, granted, but no fort has been destroyed. Slight lead in experience, but it should now lead to a turn-in from the red team. It's going to be a bit trickier for them, because again, they are still finding themselves in this awkward spot where you're playing Cho'Gall, yeah, so that makes the turn-in more difficult. Dino protected and gets the portal to make it out of the fight. 22 stacks now on the baseline, 8 away from getting the double swing reward for his level 7. And his damage is of course going to ramp up as this continues. And damn, as long as Mal'Ganis is moving to the front, he's going to be used as a pincushion. Dino needs another portal, gets it. Medivh knows exactly what he needs to do here. Ultralisk's job is to defend Dino, get him into the late game, and then let him do his thing. Tazdingo, no meme talent. Another turn-in from My Try, so yeah, good for him. There's the red Web Weaver wave coming, and there's the chance for Cho'Gall to start pushing things a little bit. And they really have to. They get level 10. That gives us upheaval, and we're getting the twisting nether. So no Hammer of Twilight this time. But there's the hit. And there's the kill. That's 23 gems. If they can protect them, Ultralisk, yeah, he's gonna drop down and grab all of them. I'm a little bit shocked that they just didn't sit there. That's 23 gems. That is a lot. But they want Dino. And they are nearly getting him. Has Dingo. He has to get away from the portal. And he's alive. And they got a kill on Mal'Ganis too. So things get even better for them. Setting up the ley line. Trying to lock down Cho'Gall as well. But yes. Nice plays. And he's getting closer and closer. Dino. He's getting closer and closer to a baseline completion. He's obviously going to stack way past that. But the more important part is that he's going to get the double swing on the Arcanite axis so he can stack both of these super quickly here. I mean, 21,000 damage for Suljin already. He's not top damage in the game or anything, but he will eventually get there if they can keep him alive. Nice dodge. 25,000 for Gal, 22,000 for Suljin. And he's still nibbling. It's a few more hits in. Dino now at 30 any second. And his damage is going to ramp up. And once that he is on high damage with auto attacks, Cho'Gall's not going to have a good time. Just imagine level 20 with him getting the upgrade for his Taz Dingo here as well. So I'm actually a bit worried for Team Ash. Team Ash went double trouble, but they are in a lot of trouble themselves right now. Because Dino is done. So from here on out, his baseline is all about the attack damage. No rewards any longer outside of that. But he can stack his level 7 now. And get those numbers in. 8 minutes in, 9 minutes in. Dino, obviously the main damage dealer for them. Blue Web Weavers are now going to come down here. And yep, the attacks, they keep hitting. So this is a bit worrisome if you're Team Ash. You need some kills, and in an ideal world you want to take Dino down again. They dropped him once at the beginning of the game, and then the second approach was negated by him just popping Taz Dingo and Ultralisk always having his back here. And just look how quickly Cho'Gall is also getting chunked down here. So Dino once again getting attacked hard, gets the shield, might have to use his ult, but easily moves through the portal, doesn't even have to go for his ultimate. No R button needed. Sonya in the meantime is, by the way, aggressively pushing for the bottom keep. So it's not only the mid lane where trouble's brewing, but also the bottom of the map where Sonya has done tons of damage on the side lane. And the Bratwurst boys, they are marching forward here. They get an early level 13 that they can play with. And still hoping to get some additional stacks in on all the talents. Just look at Dino melting things away slowly. And he's not even brutally stacked yet. But he's definitely going to try and get there. Hazop spin to win out of this, but gets murdered. So Hazo is down, but Suljin is still stacking. And again, that is the big problem. Suljin is the one that you have to eventually start to take care of. If you give him free stacks, exactly this is going to happen. Molten Block as Dino wants the kill, gets more damage in. It's currently Oriel that has to save the day for them, and does. But all of these fights, all of these skirmishes just allow Dino to get more damage racked up. He is at 39 stacks right now, and he's taking over in the top damage numbers. He's already in the #1 spot with the 35,000, and he is going to continue this over and over again, play after play, as long as they let him. And Medivh empowers every play that he makes. They needed to push earlier. I think Team Ash really needed to rule in the early game, but now good move here, maybe a kill. Yes, they get Medivh. But Mal'Ganis dies as well, and Dino just continues the stack. They need to find some kind of way to deal with Suljin, and they just don't have it right now. That's the problem. They kill Zul though. 5 kills to 3. So they pick up some momentum here. Team Ash, Dino pausing the game. Not quite sure what happened on them here. Maybe somebody... I mean, honestly, it seems like they just have some kind of like audio problem. I don't think somebody really disconnected here, but it gives us a chance to look at Dino's output again. He's at 41 stacks right now. Again, the double cleave is already in. Dino is moving in from the side. Now, there are enough gems in the hands of Team Ash to get a turn in right now, the next set of Web Weavers. They're the ones that have lost 1 fort, and the one in the middle is also super low. So this is going to be the next one to fall to the minions, very likely. Dino is not making any super aggressive move to try and prevent the turn-in from happening here. If they can prevent at least Junkrat from turning in, then they would be fine. But there are still 2 heroes down, so it's unlikely to happen. And my try will now get the next objective for them. So there's the Web Weavers. They have taken 1 fort out over in the middle, so that's the only one that got destroyed. They need to do more damage. Team Ash needs momentum. They need momentum, and currently they don't have it. But they are on level 15, as is the blue team, so there's no big experience gap or anything like it. But they need some momentum here, and it's going to be difficult for them to take it. So, yeah, we'll see. 16 is also getting a little bit closer, which is of course making things as usual a lot more dangerous. Middle of the map. Yeah, Suljin is obviously a huge asset now too. Look how quickly that Web Weaver gets annihilated. Suljin already moved back up at the top. They're going for the next Web Weaver, and Sonya is dealing with the bottom of the map. Junkrat is jumping in. Yeah, they just can't get close enough. Riptire is out. Good damage against Masquerade, who's playing his main tank Zul, but still. Here comes Dino, and he melts Cho'Gall away. Look at these slaps with Arcanite axes. Aegis being used too. Unkillable for Cho'Gall, and he still dies. Unkillable on Suljin, sorry, but he still falls. Suljin is dead, and that's exactly the move right there. Take him down. Take Suljin down, make the play. They kill Mal'Ganis, and there's not a single fort that has fallen with this push. That's the bigger problem. Killing Suljin is great. Now going for another attack. Maybe they can make a move here, but it seems like Cho'Gall is going to get obliterated even without the help of Suljin. And that's 6 kills to 6 in total, and nearly an entire level lead for the blue team. They're even jumping towards the top, past the fort with the portals as they're looking for a kill against Renella. Oriel is in trouble. Yeah, whips them out of the way, but still falls. Oriel is gone, and it is time for a boss, it seems. Yep, they're going for the boss. Suljin is back, and it is bad, bad news for Team Ashe. 43,000 damage for Suljin. 47,000 for Gal. Boss is going to be taken. This spells out the end of the top fort. It's the final fort that they're still holding. And I just don't see them having a chance to take this back anytime soon. Because let's not forget, they just used their thingies, their gems. They just used the turn-in. They have the second turn-in already. I mean, to be fair, so have the Bratwurst boys, but they hold a lot more gems than the red team does. So a bit of a problem. The dream of a reverse sweep might be at an end here. One level ahead. Good moves being made. Maybe now a play. They're trying for Masquerade. He's saved for a second. And again, Suljin with another nice set of Arcanite axes. That stack is level 7 up to 41 now. And if you look at his auto attacks, he has 48 damage on those now. So, yep. Can go deeper and deeper, and once he has level 20, oh, that upgrade Force 10 is just glorious. So off we go. Dino on the way down to the bottom of the map. Zul has also pushed this one out, so they're attacking 2 lanes at the same time. Boss has done damage on the keep. They're hoping for a turn-in. They're getting super close to another Web Weaver wave, whereas the red team is still pretty far away from it. Dino can now easily take the camp down at the bottom of the map and is just rattling out those auto attacks easy peasy as Masquerade delivers the gems that he's holding. Able to make that happen. And of course now still the question, how exactly is the red team reacting to all of this? It's the same talents at least, so that's the good news. Same talents, but what are you going to do with it? Can they force a fight? Can they get a kill against Suljin? Can they snowball this? They have to. They are always the masters of momentum. They are the comeback kings. They're the ones that are able to bring things back. But are they in a position where they have any kind of chance in order to make a move against the blue team that are now looking to get a next Web Weaver wave, that are already pushing for keeps here, and that are still able to stack Suljin to make him that late game monster that he knows he can be? Level 20 is super close now. Insanely close. Yeah, Oriel nearly done with her level 4. Web Weavers are coming in. Medivh also just powering it up here. And Medivh at 32,000 damage comes in as the second highest damage dealer on the blue team side. Gal with 53,000 still holding the big numbers here as they go for the next fight. Blue Web Weavers are coming out. And Cho'Gall just doesn't get the connect here. The portal plays that we're seeing from Medivh are absolutely bonkers, and he's just totally crushing it. Absolutely murdering them with one portal after another, and every single attempt to kill a hero is being thwarted by him. There's only a few heroes that the red team was able to take down. Sonya's pushing at the top again. Hazu is on the side lane, escorting the Web Weavers in deep as the mid lane. Camp and Web Weaver are pushing for the core and for keep. And obviously by now we got Suljin with his upgrade. Went into a surprise fire. Didn't even go for his level 10 upgrade. He trusts into Medivh here, and for good reason. Melganis is dead, and there's the damage, the stacks, the keep is gone. The one at the bottom of the map is nearly getting destroyed, or soon will be. The one at the top will fall 100%, and this looks like it's gonna be game. Suljin at 62,000, Cho'Gall is gone, and so are the hopes of Team Ash to make the reverse sweep a reality. The Bratwurst boys, they are victorious once again. They take the W and win qualifier number 5 for the Banshee Cup. Nicely done, GG, and well played.